Okay, everybody, welcome back. Um, it's another Scrabble Go tournament bonus round. Today's opponent, or this round's opponent, because these usually span several days, is Rod Alfonso. Congrats to Rod for winning the latest Scrabble Go community tournament. And we're going to start things up with him here. And let's see how we do. All right. Should I pass or just go first? I think I'll just go first, even though that is a slight advantage. So I'm seeing things like if I want to keep my Z, I can do that by playing Kadai here. The nice thing about this play is that if he somehow doesn't block this spot, I have a nice big ZO play following up there. Another normal play would be for me to simply play Diazo. So let's just think about this. That scores 34. 34 leaving AK, whereas Kadai scoring 30, only 4 fewer points, leaving the Z an incredibly powerful tile. I think that ZO is significantly more powerful than KA, so I'm sort of leaning towards that. Am I missing any kind of Z play here? I could play... No, I think it's between those two, so I'm going to go ahead and do this. This is kind of an instructive move just because, again, I am setting up a really big play for my Z on my next turn. So let's just go with this. And I will say my pleasantries to Rod in the chat in just a moment. Oh, no. So I've drawn poorly here. At least I have Zulu as a possibility, but it's not clear where that's going to play in a productive spot. So we'll see what we do next turn. Uh-oh, right off the bat, it's a bingo for Rod. Spitted, nice. It doesn't really give me great options here for my Z either. Let's see. Nowhere really to play this word Zulu that I would love to play for a nice big score. I mean, I do have my Z spot that's available here. I also have a possibility of playing here, but I don't think anything. Oh, I guess I could do that. That's 50 points. That's pretty good. UUDS is pretty terrible, but it's probably worth doing. Do I have any other? I have a way of using ZU. Really need to. Oh, wait. Oh, man. Okay. This is probably worth it. This is a huge point sacrifice, 12-point sacrifice, and it puts the Z in a pretty dangerous position here for overlaps. The nice thing is that the U in this spot makes it a little bit trickier for there to be a really damaging tile that fits there. Very few. It's going to take basically the other P, the first P is on the board, or one of the M's, for there to be a play in this spot that actually hurts me with an overlap of the Z. Just because so few consonants can play alongside the U going down across. So that it's not as dangerous as it appears to put the Z there. And even though this scores 50, I feel like getting rid of the two U's off the rack in one shot. I also keep an O for that spot. It's worth noting, I guess. I'm going to do this. And hope we draw well to our LOS. And looks like I drew OK. The J, I at least now have a spot to use the J for 36, leaving a bunch of good bingo tiles. So I guess that's nice. Or if I want to keep even better tiles, I could play something like Dojo for 28. That leave is a little more balanced. So, we'll see. Close game in the early going, but I've had 2 turns to Rod's 1. So, Okay, another move in from Rod here. Let's have a look at what it is. It's going to be, okay. Wow. Look at this. Ah, man, almost. I almost have a huge play in that spot. There's no real, I guess I have Jade here. 57. Hard to pass that up. I wish there was a way that I could use an O here, but unfortunately, I don't believe there is a way. And 57 points is going to be very difficult to turn down here, even though OOLS is significantly worse than the leave after this. It is not 21 points on the scoreboard worse, I don't think. So let's just go ahead and play this. This seems pretty clear. I have an S hook for kudzus, or, maybe, well, that's not very good. But this seems like I have to play this. It's too many extra points. So, taking a lead after the bingo, that's helpful. And we draw, oh, wow, a blank. So this is a word, Volost. That's actually kind of funny. So people within the Scrabble tournament community probably recognize this word as a funny variation of Scrabble, where the objective is to play this word, I think. Oh, wow. Immediately Rod plays, so he's definitely like right there and waiting. So the interesting thing about that is he's just created a really big spot for me to play Volosts, which I have to assume is a pretty good play here. It's 82 points. Let me just think for a second if there could possibly be any other bingo with this rack. First, I'm going to look at the vowels. Now I'm going to look at the consonants. Just go through the alphabet really quickly. Just try to touch every letter in my brain. And I'm not imagining that there is another bingo here. So let's just go ahead and do this. I've drawn the first blank. That's a major stroke of luck for me, obviously. Yeah, so after spitted for Rod, things have turned in a hurry in my direction with these nice draws, including the Z, first the Z, then the J with a spot to play it. The J, actually, the subject of my latest Better Know a Letter video, and you'll see that there are many situations where you'll struggle to use the J, but I was able to score a ton of points with it and then draw the blank to my leave of OOLS, which it's nice to have an S, but that's not a great leave overall. So pretty lucky. Let's see. This is a word, so I'm wondering if I have any kind of like plays down there. I'm not sure I do. Maybe something. Okay, so it's clear that Rod is here and ready to play, which is awesome. So let's see. I drew an odd combination here. The nice thing, oh, you know what I should do is just get up my drawing thing. Hold on. It's always helpful for me to be able to draw on the screen. Let's just make sure that it's looking correct. Yeah, okay, perfect. All right, so this V out in space is very nice and constrictive for the board. So looking at the shape of the board right now, spitted does not take any hooks. These letters are open, but otherwise it's not a good board. It's a nice board to be ahead on. So I want to make sure that whatever I do, it maintains that advantage. So let's see. Do I have... Just looking for like a long 6-letter play through the G. I don't think I have a play like that. This is kind of tricky, actually. I'm not 100% sure I see a great play. Maybe something off of the J. mean, is this insane? It's a little insane. It's definitely not the best leave I can get here. The reason I would play this is simply because so my objectives here, my problems are I have slight vowel overload, so I would like to correct that problem. But most importantly, I have the U and the V together. The synergy of those two tiles is really bad. There's not very many bingos with them. There's not very many short words with them. So definitely at all costs, unless I'm getting a ton of points, I need to use either the U or the V. And I think it's going to be difficult to achieve that objective as well as using as many vowels as I'd like. I mean, what would I play otherwise? Like Vibe or something? I guess I could play like... No, I don't want to play Beta there, I don't think. Yeah, I can't really put my B in this spot, I don't think, and use either the U or the V, which I really want to be able to do. Okay, taking a while on this tricky move, but I think I kind of like this just to block off the D of Spitted and really seal down the lower left part of the board pretty conclusively here. This leave is quite terrible, and I could easily end up regretting this move, but we're going to go with this and hope. Okay, so I was able to draw 2 consonants. That saves me for the next rack there. Should be able to do something. Let's see. Something, again, I would love to play something down from the G. I don't think anything's likely to be available from the O of Logoi here, but it's going to be tricky to start a G word with these letters, the B and the C. Not great fans of the G. So possibly... Man. Is there some kind of crazy ice bread? Don't think so. Oh, how about this? This is nice. That looks pretty good. So Jabiru off of the JA. Yeah, I was looking for a play like that last turn. I don't think it existed, but this looks pretty good. It does. You might be saying, well, what about this triple area? And yeah, that would be bad if he had good high-scoring consonants, or certainly a Q. That would not be ideal. But this scores 30 points, and ultimately a lot of the heavy tiles in the set are off the board right now. So you can see the J, the Z, the K, V, both Vs. So I would say it's slightly better than usual with some of those letters, especially the K and Z, right? Like you really don't want, futs or something to go down in that spot. Okay, so Rod just plays AY. He's playing quick. That doesn't block my play, so I'm going to go ahead and play this. I think this looks like a risk I'm willing to take here. And again, we're hoping for... Oh, okay. So we were hoping for some more consonants. Did not get them. So now I'm cruising towards a potential exchange situation with this. We love to see E's. You don't love to see 5 of them. So hoping to sort of dodge a big play in this spot. Actually, the X would be pretty devastating. The nice thing is that Rod did just play AY. Only 2 tiles. If he had had the Q or the X, it's much likelier that he would have played them on that move. So we know he had 5 tiles that were not the X, and you can see he wasn't able to hit that spot for a ton of points. So I'm up by 60, and that does give me a cushion to feel like I can exchange here relatively safely. Another idea, I guess, is I could just play Vice. I could play Vice here, leaving 4 E's. The board is just awful after this. Man, it's tempting. There's one D and two S's for Weist. It is really tempting. I mean, just look at how this right angle off of this V just seals off a huge portion of the board. If I play Vice here before he makes a play through the V, it just like imagine he makes a play through the V here. Now he's creating a new set of open space with a play through the V. If I cut him off and just play here instead, it's just terrible news for him. If he, as long as he doesn't have a D or an S, and if he has those tiles, I might be a little worried anyway about him using them to bingo through the G, O, or I of Logoi, which Vice really blocks quite effectively as well. So this is tempting. 4 E's, not your typical leave that you want to keep. There's even 4 more to come. I think that's a little extreme for me. I'm all in favor of trying to do things that control the board, but ultimately a play through this V that opens the board, I'm going to welcome that anyway because it's such a small score. It's not going to score very much. So I think I'm going to go ahead and actually tile swap, even though it is very tempting. Let me just see. There's only one I left, so I might keep an I. My odds of duplicating this I are next to none. There's only one more to draw, and it is a nice bingo tile to keep. I also could get an N that pairs well with the G. Let's go ahead and do this. And I drew nicely. So obviously the X was a key draw. That's going to hit that spot for a ton. I did draw an N for this. Let me see. I don't think I have I don't quite have X sizing or something like that. I would have 6 pence through a P. Almost excision. Do I really not have anything here? Yeah, I don't think so. Okay, so Yao goes down for Rod. That's a good score, 35, but I'm going to come right back here with a big play with my X, keeping a really nice leave. So now I'm really, really close to bingoing myself. So that was a fortuitous draw, and let's see, I just drew cheesing to the G. Chinese is actually a valid word in the Collins lexicon, but at the very least, I will be able to play cheesing in that spot. Is there anything else? That might be it. I don't think there's anything through the O or the I. There is no spot to play the 7-letter word that I just identified, but cheesing through the G, that's going to be my hope that stays available. I am winning by a solid margin here, so kudos to Rod, by the way, for he's online, he's playing his moves in real time, so that's pretty cool. I think it's reasonably likely that my bingo gets blocked here, but I'm still in very good shape. I still feel like I'm in good shape. It's worth noting I have the coda hook that would pair very well with an A for away in this spot if I get my bingo blocked and I have to worry about that. So, okay, there's the move, and cheesing does get blocked. So a small scoring play there, just 2 consonants off through there. It's a little worrisome how close he must be to having something good. I feel like it would make a lot of sense for me to find a play that blocks this part of the board. Not sure what that would be, though. Well, at this score, I mean, I have this nice rack here. At this score, I think it might actually make sense for me to play something like this. and just really block up the board. I don't think I want to put this E. It makes it a little too easy. Obviously, I have two E's. I just exchanged a bunch of them, and my odds of drawing them again are pretty good. Is this worth playing and exposing the triple? What can I get hit with? The Q, really. It's just the Q. And the odds of him having a huge Q play to the triple are just not very good after a play like Fawn. So, don't have my bingo available. Do I really not have anything? Cohesion? No, I don't think so. I don't think I have anything that goes super long there. So I think I'm going to do this, even though it gives a triple back, again, just because the board is just really dire after this. It gives the triple back, I admit, but I'm up by enough points that I can withstand that as long as he doesn't bingo somewhere. The only thing that really hurts me is a Q play. So again, I drew a bingo of just murines, actually a couple different spellings. This is valid as well. So if he plays down there, I'm up by a very large amount. So if he plays here for anything in the 30 to 40 range, I'm going to be okay with that after my next play, I think. We'll see if I live to regret that or not. But now after this play of Osh, it's going to be just where is that bingo going to go for Rod to open the board back up and sort of stay in the game, because he really does need a bingo here. The only thing I'm worried about is like a Q play in this spot, EQ, SQ, anything with the Q. And again, it would be, wow, okay, he exchanges tiles. That's obviously grim that he had to exchange. Let's see, what do we think he exchanged here? Looks like a pretty balanced set of vowels and consonants, so plenty of E's. Maybe he just exchanged a ton of E's. Who knows? I have an M in this spot, but only the E fits there, and I'm not sure I have anything that goes there. Let's see. Not quite murine. Just looking for a 5-letter word. I guess rumen or something. Yeah, you know what I like about rumen is that, again, there's very minimal chance of me duplicating this I, and there are so many E's that my odds of drawing an E are super good. Yep, and there we see I did draw one. Dimerize, itemized. So now, just a terrible stroke of luck for Rod that he had to exchange tiles there instead of hit the triple really hard. Then I got my own triple that I just opened. He plays Gat there very quickly. You can just see, look at how much of the board is clustered on the bottom. That's just great. That's great when you're winning in a game and so much of the board is completely inaccessible. That's what you're looking to do with a lead there. Let's see. Just want to keep scoring. It's possible that I should just burn my S. That seems like a pretty reasonable. Just get some points here. The S has some value for sway if I were to get the right consonants, but I'm not worried about that. I think that's fine. I'm going to do this just to keep the scoring pressure on. And of course, I'm just drawing great. I drew another S right after I used it. What can you say? That's just lucky. That is lucky stuff. So I drew an A for this spot. Oh, he exchanges again. So it's just, just grim draws for Rod here at rough times in the game. When had he had a good draw, it could have really changed things in his favor. I should say. Okay. Do I have have something in this spot here. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Just keep scoring. Wow, and look at this. Look at this. I drew the second blank, and I actually have a pretty ridiculous bingo to this I here. Plural. The plural of lemniscus, I think. So I have a bingo ready to play to this I. That's just dumb luck. I can't imagine I have anything else. I have to obviously imagine there's other stuff here, though. Maybe LI. I don't think anything's there. And this spot is almost never getting blocked. Why would this spot get blocked right here? It feels much likelier of a play coming down in that area, especially with the C. I could easily imagine Rod having a play like CA something, trying to open this area. But I'm very, very likely to hit this bingo. Actually, wow, the Q is still lurking, and the Q is like, you know what? If he has the Q, maybe he plays that right there and blocks me. That might be. Because the Q is just impossible to play anywhere else. So I would definitely not be surprised to see that go down, but otherwise, tough situation. So I feel like every time I've been on the verge of pausing the video just to reduce the length of it, Rod has made his play. So I'm hesitant. I see he's still online, and there we go. Okay, so he does block my spot. He does block my spot. Hard to be too disappointed the way this game's gone. I'm not complaining. So Coney goes down. I guess for me, as I just noted, the one thing I need to be careful of is allowing myself to be able to play a Q if I draw it. Clearly, I don't think he had one, or he would have played it. So, is there some crazy ways word like something ways, smiling ways? I don't think so. Just do this. Either way, I think these plays are. I just need to be careful of that Q and not use my IS blank combination, whatever I do. So just trying to figure out what's the best idea for me. Maybe just this. I probably should be thinking about which tile I can play that gives me bingos to the I on the board. I wonder. That's a lot of calculation to figure that out in a game where I'm winning by a lot. So let's just play Yowl. Just it makes it a little more difficult to open the board. And what did I just draw? The Q. Okay, so there is the Q. Let's see. Okay, he plays beer. That actually is going to open me a spot to play my Q. That's okay. There's one tile left. Unseen tiles, E, E, G, N, P, R, W. That looks pretty terrible. I don't think I have too much to worry about. I almost have a bingo mesquine, I think, through this E if it were in a different spot. But The nice thing, actually, you know what's really interesting? With this set of letters, if I place my Q here, he has no way of playing here. He literally cannot. He cannot have a valid play in that spot. There's no way. So I think I can do this and then come back with an I something play there. It's kind of funny. It's like unblockable. So let's just do that and see what the last letter out of the bag is. It's a T. Okay, so I could play IT on the next turn, and then I would have EMS to play somewhere, or I could play, yeah, that's probably all right, because I could play this as a follow-up play. Or let's see, if I play COT, how does this help me? Does this help me at all? 33. No, I'm just needlessly giving up points there. Do I have another outplay with these tiles? Yeah, I do, actually. I can play this as well. So I have two outplays if I just play IT underneath the Q. So that was a stroke of luck, obviously, that I got a place to play the Q. That gives Rod absolutely no counterplay underneath there. There's no play that he can have to the triple with that Q, given the unseen tiles that were available to look at going into that move. So this game's going to wrap up momentarily. Just clearly, right from the get-go, I had Z, J, blank, bingo, X, second blank, plenty of S's. So I absolutely had the run of the tiles in this game without question. We'll see after whether I missed anything big. Wouldn't be surprised. Scrabble's hard. Scrabble's hard to play. Hard to find all the right moves every turn. So it's only right that maybe every now and then I miss something, but a lot of these moves seem pretty self-explanatory. Actually, some of them were definitely tricky. Okay, he plays Wenge. So now I have to think about, he has PER. I should probably actually consider, it's probably better for me to, let's think about this really quickly. So if I did this, it would be 38. Then he's going to play rep in this spot for 10, 19, 23. That puts me at, that's a plus 15 advantage. Then he's going to get 10 from me, so that's a total of 5. That would be 5 points advantage if I play my Q. If I play my Q overlap first, whereas it seems like I clearly do better than that by just going out. So I need to go out here. Probably something that plays here. Retems, that'll do. So going out now looks like it's clearly superior. And that's going to do it for this game. So, okay, kind of a clunker. I drew super well. That's why, I mean, we're always looking for games that are a little closer on the draw, but that's how Scrabble goes sometimes. Once again, well done to Rod Alfonso for winning the latest iteration of the Scrabble Go International Community Group community tournaments. And, yep, better luck next time in this game. I drew really well. It was gonna be hard to win this game. So anyway, thanks everybody for watching, and stay tuned for the next video in the series. Whenever the next tournament is completed, we'll play that winner in this bonus round.